Hi everyone, a very good morning and welcome to our webinar. Today's topic is a really interesting and important one, a 90-day digitization blueprint. Now, some businesses might think that digitization is related to software, but honestly, it's survival. In today's day, if your business is not able to track your payments, your vendors, your filings, everything in real time, then I feel that you are lagging behind somewhere, and it's very, very important to build a set of habits, build a set of system that will help you track all these things real time. So here we are today with a 90-day simple blueprint, a simple plan which will help you in setting up those systems, which is very, very practical, and will help you achieve your goals and will help you become more and more trackable, more digitized. So, yeah, before we begin and before we go into the webinar, I would just like to give you a little introduction about Iris. Now, Iris is a 20-year-old company which is basically into compliance solutions. So, it helps regulators as well as companies across the globe to meet with their compliance requirements. It helps regulators like RBI to collect data and the companies to collate and send this data in the required framework to these regulators. So Iris MSME is a small part of Iris. We began Iris MSME with the aim to empower MSMEs with tools and solutions that will help them grow and help them, scale up. So today is also one such session. If you check out our app Iris Peridot, you will find multiple tools like scheme matching, GST and scan, invoicing, and something very interesting is coming up. So stay tuned for that. And under MSME TV on our app, you can also find more such webinars that will help you in learning things, learning new things. And today, to teach you this very interesting topic, we have with us our expert Indumati. So Indu is into finance, law, and compliance for more than 20 years now, and she is very passionate about helping MSMEs grow. She has strengthened more, I mean, so many MSMEs, so many businesses with her expertise. And honestly, personally, I feel that her expertise is simplifying things for you. So, this 90, we couldn't have asked for any better speaker than Indu to explain this 90-day blueprint to you, a solid, simple plan that will help you grow. So I won't take much time. I think Indu, you can take over.
Uh, Thank you, Ankita, for such a nice intro. And yes, as you rightly said, digitization is one of the things which is required by every business to survive now. So when companies are speaking about automation, so without this base of digitization, so automation, AI, it all looks so distant. So the very basic thing which any business has to start with is with digitization. So whenever I say something called as a digitization, everything is about software. Like what software do we have to do? Like what is the ERP implementation we have to do? So that's the first question anybody asks me. Like if I say software, no, sorry, digitization, everybody saying, okay, what is the software we need to implement? What exactly are we supposed to do? So it is not necessarily software. There are many other steps which you can do to digitize your business. This is not only about ERP implementation and the software. Of course, I do agree that they play a major role. But then when you start digitalization, it is not something which is meant only for the large businesses or who make a turnover of more than this much. No, it's not for them. It's for everybody. So if you ask simply what is digitization, see the fruit vendor whom we buy a fruit from or vegetable from, they have a scanner, UPI scanner. That is also digitization. So digitization need not mean something very big. It may be very small steps which you can take and which will help your business. First, it will help to simplify and streamline. The next path it has to take you is to scale. So that's the aim of any digitization. So if you see digitization, it is not only to simplify your task, but it should also enable you to take decisions which helps you to grow. That's how I see digitization as. Now let's go to the blueprint of what exactly the small businesses are supposed to do. It starts for the small businesses, and as your businesses grow, your digitization also need to scale along with that. So that's it. Since we have the mix of SMEs, MSMEs, so I'm starting from very basic steps, and of course through the automation you have a very big pathway. Since we have to cover all our SMEs, I'm starting from something small. Now let's get into this digitization on the full scale. So now where I want to stop this is who this webinar is for. Is this a webinar for me? If that's the question, this webinar is for anybody from a small kirana store owner, whether you are a big manufacturer or you are a consultant, a freelancer, a small service vendor, a distributor, local business. So this webinar is for all of you. Okay, so it's not for one particular set of persons like a manufacturer or a big service provider. It is for everybody. So from this angle we need to approach it. And why do we need to digitize? What is the need for us to digitize now? That's the question which everybody asks. Main reason is convenience. See, earlier when you want to search for something, some product you want, or if you want to go to a place, what do? You take up a map or you ask to somebody, how do we go there, how to book a ticket. So you go ask person to person, you get variety of information, some useful, some not useful. You had a medium where you have to go to different people to ask. Now if you want to search for anything, first what you do is you take your mobile. And now with all the automation what Google has done or any other browser or search has done, you can just go in and say in your own mother tongue what exactly you are searching for, and so that it gives you a lot of data, where it is available, how it is available, because it is very convenient. It is available in your handheld device called mobile. Okay, so you get there, you search there. So what does the customer expect here? Digital convenience. Your customer or your client is also expecting the same digital convenience which you are expecting. So when your business is not available in that digital mode, it is a loss for you. So if you want to make it comfortable and convenient for the customer, you need to be digitally available. That's from your customer part. Now coming back to the government part, if you see, whole of the compliance now has become digital. Take GST, take income tax, take MCA or ROC where you do a companies act filing, everything has now become online. So it's fully digitalized. So government has changed, your customers expectation has changed, and then you need cash flow fast. That's how every business wants. That's what every business actually want. You need to see the cash fast. It should be almost like you sell it and you have the cash. That's exactly what the requirement of every person who is selling a product or a service is. So when you have this digital payment, it speeds up your process. Okay, and when you make a manual mistake, it costs more than the digitization. The work you have to do, it is double the time than the digitized record. For example, the e-invoicing part or digital invoicing part under the GST. If you have registered under the IRS, you will know that your invoice goes to your vendor directly for payment. It is authenticated, no duplication of invoice. Reconciliation part will become very less. The mistake of the correction part will become very less. I mean, where if you have some manual record, think about changing the invoice. How much long time it takes for you to change the invoice? It's too difficult under those circumstances. So the small business need for digitization is not tomorrow, it is today, because your customer has changed, your government has changed. You get benefit out of it. So in order to derive the benefit, you need to decide to change your process of business. You need to digitize your business. So what does this digitization really means? See, the digitization as a concept doesn't mean that you need to buy a software, install it in a computer. No, it's not only about that. It is the basic a plan of why you need to digitize is simplification. You want process to be simplified. You don't want it to be complex. So if you need to simplify the work, you need to digitize. So when you have digital tools, it will help you to manage your customer, it will help you to manage the cash, and it also help you to manage the compliance effectively. The data which you have in digital system, it will help you to make a business decisions which are strong, which helps you to grow more, scale more, and it also can help you to get more fund flows or cash flows for your working capital. So, in order to improve your business, digitization is the key. And before going in for digitization, first you need to know what not to digitize first. We can see what to digitize. And before you go in for digitization, first you see what your business require. Does your business require this? That's the first question you need to ask. There are a lot of software available, a lot of ERPs available, marketing tools are there, many automation platform out there, and you have digital agencies also. So many of them who are convincing you to take on their services, take on their software, or take on their businesses. So your question here is to whether do I do this digitization? Where should I start? Should I buy this particular ERP system? Will that help me in digitizing? So first, it is not necessary you should do all these things if we say it is digitization. First thing you need to say is whether is it required for you? Is it going to help your business grow? That is the first question you need to ask yourself. See, that is what I call it as a 10-step roadmap to go digital. So you have decided to go digital, or you have decided to transform yourself digitally. Remember, digitalization is a need of the day. You need to do it whether you like it or not. Customers have changed, government has changed, so you also need to change. Change is constant. And if I do digitization today, is it enough? No, you should keep on reviewing it and scaling it. It's not a one time job, it's a long road which you have to take. And you need the digitization scales up along with your business. As your business grows, your digitalization should also grow along with it, because you need more data. Again, you have more business, you require more data to take more better decisions. Data should drive your business decisions, not your emotions. So, if you need to have this digital transformation, you need to go through this 10 steps slowly, but you need to do it. The first thing, as I said, is access readiness of your business. Is your business ready to take that jump? What is the extent of digitization you're going to do for your firm? We will see about the access readiness in detail in our next slide. Next thing is about digital identity. Like, have you registered your MSME with Udya, which is a very basic, where you get very basic tools also. So MSME government website is not only about registering and getting a number. You also get a lot of free tools in there, right? For MSMEs, a lot of tools are available freely, so which you can utilize, of course. And have you digitized your billing? Have you digitized your payment? How do you digitize your record keeping? Very important nowadays, creating an online presence. Where do we store the data? Or where do we keep the backup of the data? Have you automated compliance so that you don't have to pay any penalties? Track your metrics, whether it is a sales, expenses, track it, reskill your team, upskill your team. They may also have to learn something. If we have to learn something, everybody has to learn something in order to go in for this digitization. The transformation, the word as such, may be simple, but it requires a mindset transformation also. When we say digital transformation, it is digital, but this transformation happens in the human's mind. So you transform digitally, but the mind of the human being should be tuned. That is, your team should be tuned for the digital transformation. As far as you also need to be tuned for this digital transformation. So when we check access readiness, you not only check whether digitally your organization is ready, you also check whether you are ready, your team is ready, and whether the process which they have now, is it ready or is it correct to be transformed? Or should you do a small change in the process itself to simplify it first and then take it digital? So that readiness also needs to be checked. Review and scale. You need to keep on assessing this, whether is this enough, this level of digitization enough for me, or should we go a step further? This review is constant. This helps you to scale your business as well as the digitization process. So let's go through the steps one by one. For some of the businesses, it may look like very simple because they have already done this. For some of the businesses, if you have not done this step, this is the first time you need to go with it. First, access and identify. First, check what is manual you have for your business. Many things may be manual. Okay, invoices, it can be manual because the 5 crore, more than 5 crore, if you have a turnover, then you have digital invoices. Otherwise, you can even go in for a normal manual invoices. Your invoices may be manual, payment may be manual, payroll may be manual, inventory may be manual. There are many places where the process is manual, and depending upon scale of the business, how much turnover you make, that is the scale of the business, and depending upon the type of the business, the pain points differ. Every business will not have the same pain point. Businesses have different pain point. For some businesses, managing inventory is a pain point. For some businesses, raising the invoice promptly after doing the services is a pain point. For some businesses, collection is the pain point. So your pain point is actually different. For every business, it is different. So you need to prioritize which is the pain point for your business. So when you prioritize the pain point, identify the pain point, then you start digitizing it. So you see what is the pain point for your business. So when you identify the pain point and you bring it into four, that is when you bring the visibility to it through digitization, then you can control it easily. Like for example, let's assume that payment or the working capital flow is a pain point for an enterprise. Then you start digitizing the process. You start automatically following up on your invoices. I would suggest at least before the due date, you should have at least 3 follow-up. For example, when you raise an invoice, automatically there should be a mail which is going from your side saying this, the payment will be due on so and so date. If it is a 30-day payment, 60-day payment, whatever it is, mention the date and say that this is the day when the invoice is due for payment. Middle one time where you remind that they need to make the payment on so and so date. On the due date, till the date, if the payment has not come, you need to send one other reminder so that you receive the payment on time. So how do you get it? Visibility. You need to know which are the invoices which are pending for payment. So if you get the visibility, then you get a control. See, what you cannot see, you cannot control. So if you feel that anything is a pain point in your business, you need to have that in your visibility. You need to see where it is. Otherwise, you won't be able to control it. Identify the pain point, bring a visibility to it through digitization, and then you will be able to control it. So this is the first step you need to do for digitization. Identify the pain point, whatever is manual. Identify it, then prioritize top three area which you want to control. And there are some business which we say we already have the system, we already have the inventory system in place, we already have the ERP system in place. Unless you use the system, digitization doesn't work. It should help you to drive your business. It should help you to scale your business. So unless your data helps you to scale up your business, the data is redundant. So make the data work for you. Bring that into visibility. And then you can control. So next part is establish your digital identity. When I say establish your digital identity, what it means is, first thing for all the MSMEs, ensure that you are registered under Udyam portal. Very basic, minimum. You need to do this. Okay, why? First thing, you will get to know what are all the schemes which are available under the government. You can use our Iris platform also, where we do the scheme matchmaking. Okay, that's one. Another thing, MSME website as such comes with different tools which are very useful for the startups, or even for every SME who registered now. It's very helpful. There are small tools which are available free of cost, which you can use it. And if you want to go in for trademark and patent also, registration helps to reduce the charges. So register yourself on the Udyam portal. Next thing, create a professional domain email. It costs very less. It doesn't cost much money. It costs very less. Spend some money there, few hundreds. Spend some money there. Create a professional domain email for you so that you get a professional feel to your customer. So create a professional domain email. So next step will be about your bank account. Every business has a bank account. So this happens particularly when you have a proprietorship, or when you jump on from proprietorship to LLP or proprietorship to private limited company as the business is scaled. Many a time what happens is the proprietorship, the single person, individual person will have all his UPI scan and everything in the phone, but then your company will not have that scanner details. See how you have digitally enabled yourself. In the same way, you need to enable your business. Make a scanner, UPI scanner for your business also. And your business bank account should be fully digitally enabled to get the full benefit out of it. If your customer asks for it, client asks for it, you should give them a UPI ID, visual ID, or even your scanners. You should be able to share it with them easily. Your IFSC details, all this should be available with you so that you can share with them immediately for the payment. So next comes, where do I store all this? Any data pertaining to your PAN, GST, MCA, incorporation detail, MOA, AOA, definitely you will have to have it in your register office if you are a company, LLP and all. But then you also need to have a copy of it somewhere in the cloud. for your easy access. And I would say DigiLocker, which is again by provided by the government. You can store all the data in there and then derive it or take it whenever you require from the DigiLocker. When somebody asks for it, you can immediately retrieve it and give it, and it is always safe there. So establish your digital identity, which is the very basic thing which any business can do. See, most of the job which is listed here, Udyam portal again free of cost. Digital enabled business bank account, that depends upon the what you have with a banker. For some bankers, it is for some MSMEs with some bankers it is entirely free, whereas for some MSMEs they charge a little bit for some of the services, not for all of the services. So it differs upon, but sometimes it is available free of cost to you. Only thing is you need to tap it and see whether it is available for you. DigiLocker is again free. Professional domain cost very little, something below 1,000 only. So all of this you can do it for 0 to 1,000 rupees. That's it. Only here in this professional domain email it's slightly costly, but rest of the other thing you can do it below certain cost. It is available, just you need to tap it and use it. Next comes step 3 to 5, where we speak about transaction records and visibility. Transactions, see, you enable UPI. Again, even if a small vendor can do, why not you? Enable UPI, so it will help you to get faster collections. And I know, like as per the digital invoicing is only for rupees 5 crore and more, but then if you are an SME and if really working capital or the money coming within 45 days is a problem for you, enable digital invoicing. You have a proof saying that you raised this invoice on the particular day. Everything is online, everything is trackable. And where if the vendor is not paying to you within that 45 days, you have all digital proof to say that you raised the invoice on this day after you have provided the service where the vendor has not paid even though 45 days is open. You can go to the MSME Samadhan portal still if your money is not coming. So when you use digital billing or e-invoicing, it really helps you. And one more thing where it helps you is it again, this is available free of cost with some of the service providers. If your turnover is below certain level, it is available free of cost. You can use our IRS also for doing this e-invoicing. Use this digital billing softwares. Use the IRS so that your invoice is verified and your vendor has the ability to see when you have registered, how you have registered, and it also brings you credibility. Another important thing is the credibility the e-invoicing brings, particularly with the large scale customer. If you are doing e-invoicing, the large scale customer will have a very good view on you. You provide more credibility by providing your GST number, by providing e-invoicing. You are saying that your process is streamlined, that you are a person with whom they can do business. You're raising yourself. It provides you that credibility. So next thing is to maintain books. So how do we maintain books? See, if you are an established industry who is maintaining the books, definitely you will have a system, ERP software and all. But if you are a person, one who is starting small or one who has started small and have expanded now, you might not have maintained the proper books of accounts. I've seen many books of accounts. There is no books of account at all, just bank transaction statements, which comes at the end of a period. So that's not the way to track your business. If you want to track anything, no, you need to have a data or a record of it. Unless you have a data or record of it, you don't know where the money has come, where it has gone, how much is the sales made. You will have some money in the bank account and you assume that that is enough. But that alone will not drive your business. If you want to drive your business, you need the data to be maintained properly. You can maintain it in a spreadsheet, or you can maintain it in a ledger. You can even maintain it in the mobile phone. There are lot of tools available to do everything online. See, even here you have free tools available. Spreadsheets, free spreadsheets are available. You need not go with one particular vendor. You have free spreadsheets which are available where you can maintain it easily. This has to be done so that you have some data to analyze where you are. The next point will be to create your business profile online. So when I say create a business profile online, it doesn't mean only website. Yes, I do understand it, but a simple website doesn't cost much money. But if you are having a website, it is well and good. But the business profile does not come only from having a website. You can create your business profile by way of sharing a pamphlet with your customer by your mail about your business, about your product, about the services which you can provide to them. You can have a pamphlet explaining all of this and then send it as a mail or send it as a message using different modes which is available in your mobile. And you can even create, see, for example, uh, uh, where should they search for you? What's your address? They should be able to check it online. What is the business you are doing? That they should be able to check it online. So create your business profile online so that it is visible for them. You can use many other medias which are available for you to create a business profile free of cost. You can create it free of cost. Very helpful, so that you have a online visibility, because most of the business transaction are influenced online or done online. So when I say influenced online, there are various websites for products as well as for services which post free of cost. Utilize that. Create your profile online. Many things which are available where you can use it free of cost. So I always used to say this example. See, there was one particular vendor for whom the main business was to sell carom boards, and they used to sell this carom boards all over India. They use uh, along with the carom board, they also used to send the powders which are used on the carom boards. The cost of see, they buy the carom board powders from the local vendor and then send it to their final customer again all over India. So over a period of time, what they realized is the cost of the powder is becoming very high from the vendor. So they want an alternate, but they were not able to get an alternate in the closed circuit. So what did they do? They went online, checked for the vendors who were available. Again, all over India, they can check for it. They checked for it. And what did they find? They found the vendors who are ready to supply a slightly differentiated product at 20 percentage of the cost of at which they are buying from a vendor. So why? It didn't happen now. It happened 5 years or 6 years back. This happened. So when what do they see? They see the cost got reduced. With every carom board they sell, they always give this carom board powder free. So you can assume how much the cost got reduced, because they were able to get the information that the same product is available elsewhere. The same product is also available at a lesser cost. So how are they able to reach out to the other business? Because they were able to see that there are other vendors and who sell at a fraction of the cost than this vendor. Without digital, this would not have been possible. Okay, so this is one example. I just want to say like how keeping your business profile online gives you more visibility, more customers, more clients whom you can attract for your business. Next comes the very important part called as the compliance. Who is not afraid of the compliance, right? So if you don't comply, of course, within certain date, you will have additional fee or penalty or by whatever name you call it. And not being compliant, you pay extra cost for it. The best way is to automate all your compliance reminder. You can download the Iris Peridot app. If you have already downloaded, I think you will be using the compliance calendars which we have and the automation notifications which we have. For others, you can of course download it, or you can keep your internal compliance reminder, because for certain businesses I understand if you start processing the payment, 2 days it takes for the payment to come, like because there are checker maker concept, so you take a longer period of time. In that case, you need to automate your compliance reminder before. Okay, but keep the reminder so that you pay on time, you don't incur additional penalty interest, right? Pay on time. For that you need to automate your compliance. See, in case if you are not able to do that, just take your calendar in your mobile and mark it, that's also fine. But you need to have some process to track your compliances. Storage, very important part. You can use digilockers and the cloud drivers for the storage. Use it for storage, whether it is a PAN, GST, MC, any record which you want to save for long term, you can use the cloud drivers. See, any digitalized data, no, what is the use of it? The use when you use it only, when you use the digitalized data and take some decision, then you have fulfilled the digitization process. You need to review your sales, your cash flows, your expenses monthly. There is no use of any data or any digitization if you don't use it for taking right decisions. Your decision should be driven by data. When your decisions are driven by data, then your decisions will be right. It's not only you who need to be trained on the digital tools. The very important part is you need to train your staff also to be on the digitalization effort. See, once this digitization process is done, you can later on, you start it small, but you can later expand yourself to enterprise resource planning, customer resource planning management. You can expand later depending upon the scale of your business. So one thing which I would say is the 30-day blueprint for vendors. Now this is mainly for the vendors who have not yet digitized. Create your digital identity. That means in this week, when maybe after this webinar is over, just go in, check whether your MSME is Budyam registered. If not, register your MSME. Create a mail ID for yourself, for your business. If you are a proprietor, create a mail ID for the business name which you have. If you are a partnership, LLP, company, whatever it is, you should have a domain name mail ID. So for example, your company is xyz.com. Your mail ID should be a@xyz.com. Here, assume that A is your name, or it can be info@xyz.com. That's what I mean by domain mail ID. Bank account. Everybody will have a bank account, but ensure that your bank account is digitally enabled. That is, when your client asks for the UPI ID, you should be able to give the UPI ID of your bank account. Check whether it is digitally enabled. For established business, the bank account part, mail ID part will be taken care of. Udyam part also, many of your established industry would have taken care of that. Next, coming to the billing and payment, check whether you have set up the UPI in every invoice you have. Just see, when you have digitized the invoice, you can just put your UPI ID so that it becomes easy for them to scan and pay also. Create the sample invoices so that you don't have to write out or type out everything. See, sometimes you may have a repeat customer. If you just give customer one, every detail should be filled automatically except for the quantity, what material it is, how much value you have sold it for, the price. Except for this, everything else should have been automated. GST, everything should come automatically. There are softwares which are available free of cost in the MSME website. Please do use them. V3, concentrating on your online presence. Post it in different websites and groups where it is available free of cost, where you can post your services or goods free of cost. Use the digital locker, so save the important documents of your companies. Automate your compliance reminders, the monthly summary of the sales, expenses, profit which you have had, cash flows. All this you should get as a summary. This you need to automate it. Some pop-up should come, like how you have for your birthday of your friends. In the same way, you need to have a compliance reminder also. So what is the 90-day vision we have? The first part, what we see is month one, where you build the digital identity. The next part will be the core process. Identify the core process, whether it is invoice, payment cycle, or the inventory. Identify what is it, and then try to build your digitization around it. Use the data for the better decision making, whatever the data you have. So now when I say, how do I digitize? By revenue tier. Like if you are an enterprise, very small, maybe you are working and then doing a business same time, or you are just starting, you are having only a turnover of around 2 lakh per year, and you start with very basics, zero cost tools. A lot of things are available. Just use that. You don't have to do anything else. Next comes 2 lakh per month. That means you are having somewhere around GST turnover is crossed. You should have digital records. That means your invoice, you should be having everything, sending it through digital invoices. Number one, you should have online presence, definitely, and store the data in the digilockers, and you should have backups, proper backups in the cloud. This is for 2 lakh per month business. Maybe you will be spending around up to 10,000 in this scenario. Nothing more than that will be required. Okay, next comes to, yeah, now that is the right question, whether it is 10,000 for a year or a month. I would suggest year, but then if you want, you can do it for 1 month 10,000 also. It's up to you. But then 10,000 for a year should be enough for this level of operation. If you are having a 20 lakh per month business, you need to integrate your inventory with your invoices, and you should have a CRM system, non-negotiable. This will help you to scale up fast and also identify where you are wasting your money. Whether are you ordering some of the parts even when it is not required? How will you know that unless you have a system to say that, okay, this is the inventory which is required, and this you can just order 2 weeks before, where you don't block your capital. So you will not know that unless you have a data in your hands. When your business crosses this 20 lakh per month, integrate your inventory with your invoice system, have a proper CRM system. All this are non-negotiable, because then only you can scale. Otherwise, you cannot scale. Next comes the 2 crore per month. When you are having 2 crore per month, you should have an end-to-end digital system. You should have automation, you should have agentic AI and whatsoever. So this is required for every business. This is just a what I say as an overview. It may change business to business. So that's why I have given different scales. So value for money. When you do this digitization, what will happen? You might have missed some payments. Some of the invoices would have lost. I mean, people who have been in the form-based GST rules and all will know if you lose one particular form, how many lakhs you will lose. Loss of one C form, this many lakhs money lost. You need to apply for a duplicate C form, wait for it to come to get your payment. All this we have seen. So paper loss, delays will be there. Now, when you have digitization, you will have faster cash flows. Trust is there. See, the main thing which the digital invoice brought or the e-invoice brought is trust. There is no dummy invoices which has been created, sent and all. So it created the trust and creates the accuracy. That is one of the things which any digitization transaction has to create. It should create trust in the mind of your customers and client. And the data should be accurate. And you should realize your cash flow faster. And if you do this digitization, the main thing is your growth is backed by data. There is no guesswork decisions. If you don't have any data, or if you have a wrong data for that matter, the decision which those data will give you. So you should not make any guesswork decision. You should have a data backed decision so that you can grow or scale your business up. So now this is for one particular business, a service business, where they never had, when they set up, they always had the not, they didn't have invoice even for that matter initially when they started up, because their turnover was less than 20 lakh. So it is always a word of mouth business. So in this sort of business, what happens is they keep on see, whenever they feel like it, they go track the customer, ask them to pay. Okay, so the cash flow is not faster. First thing, because you don't have invoice, it's everything word spoken, mouth, and then you get the money whenever you want. It doesn't work like that. Any business require a system or a process. If you have a system or the process, your business will take care of itself even if you are not available on the spot for a day. So what did they do? First thing they did is make it easier for the customer. They had an UPI scanner. After doing particular service, they will send the UPI scanner to them. And they started tracking it in Excel. And they had various business suites like which they used for integrating everything. They started getting faster payment because of the tracking. Because you know, when money has not come, you can see that money has not come, you will start tracking. If you're not seeing it, you won't be tracking it. If you see, you will track it. Visibility gives always control. Any business, it's just the same. Should be able to see that you are not receiving the money on time. Then you will control it. You will go for the customer and ask him to pay the money. So the payments became faster. The billing time, it took very less time to bill. They go to the place, they do the service, then immediately send the bill. Immediate. The time which they took to raise an invoice was very, very less. The customer also had a great visibility. If you went in for a digitization, particularly you created your business online, everything, then your customer has a greater visibility for your business. They can rate you, review you. Many of you who use different services in your mobile will know rating, will know review. So you get more customer visibility. So this is what happened for that business. So now what are all the different sources which are available to you? You have Udyam registration portal, which I already, as I have said you. Then you have a DigiLocker, MSME toolkits are available, BIM, Bharat Bill Pay, which you can use for all your digital payment. MCA portal is available, as also Iris Peridot app is available for controlling all your compliance related thing, where you can automate your compliance very easily with Iris Peridot, as well as Iris IRP is also available for the e-invoicing compliance part. So your aim in this digitization process should be to simplify, streamline, and scale. First, any business, you need to see not only what is manual, also when you say what's manual, you need to see whether the process which it is happening, whether it is right or wrong. If you need to correct something, you correct it before digitization. Your process, whatever process you're doing, if you feel that it is wrong, you correct before digitization. That means you create your invoice immediately after your service is over, not when your customer is ready to pay. You raise your invoice, service is over, raise your invoice, send it to them. Check whether your process has been streamlined first. Then review what are all the manual things you are doing. Will it add value if you digitize it? Check that. Register your business. Whether it is registering in the Udyam website or you want to register for GST for scaling your business, because you know many bigger customers look for the GST registration number. Register your business. Any transaction, record it digitally. See, even the BIM app which we use for payment, it can give you a track of the expenses, where your money is going. So when you do a transaction online, you have a record online. Reach your customers online. Very important, because your customers are not like, it's not like olden days where you have to go in, convince your customer about your credibility. You can reach out to them online. You can fix a meeting online, see them face to face in the online meet and connect with them. And don't do everything at one single time. Not possible, because your priority is your business. It is not digitization. Digitization is part of your business. So it should simplify your business. If you want to simplify your business, you are not going to push everything, do it on one single month. Do one by one. Have a 1 month for one change, and small changes that will help you to streamline your business very nicely, and you can scale. When you streamline your business, you can scale your business. So after this session is over, if you have not registered yourself as an MSME in Udyam, please go and register digitally in the website. Very important next step is, even if this your turnover is below the threshold limit, if you want to get a digital foothold, or you want your working capital cash flow to be smooth, go in for digital billing, go in for digital payment. It creates a record. Gone. See, earlier whatever be the loan which every PSU used to give or financial institution used to give was based only on your papers. Now they see the credibility goes beyond that. They see what goes behind it. Okay, so they look for your digital footprint. So there your digital billing really helps. The payment which you receive by your bank account, which has been registered digitally, will really help. So shift to digital billing and payment. Very, very mandatory for MSMEs. It establishes the credibility in your business. Create an online profile. Create your online presence. These three things you must do after this session is over. Now, with this, I would like to close this part of my seminar. Now it is open for your thoughts. You can, of course, write to us for whatever thoughts you have on your mind. And then now over to you, Ankita. Ankita?
Yes. Hi, Indu. Thank you so much for this insightful session. One line that really stayed with me is that, when you make a manual mistake, it actually costs you more than the digitization, effort wise, time wise, money wise, everything. So I really feel that you gave so many insights and so many tips for all our viewers, all the MSMEs out there, and I'm sure they'll pick up a lot of things from this session and will start acting on it. And in 90 days, we'll see a difference. If
Yeah, hopefully.
any of Yes, if any of the viewers have any questions, any queries, any feedback, you please feel free to put it down in the comment, or you can even write to us at hello@irismsme.com. We will also be sharing a survey with you. You can share what topics would you like us to cover next. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye. Have a good day.